Live.
All right. First and foremost, thank you for coming to this. As you know, fraud is a unfortunate part of the digital world, especially finance. So we're going to be talking about a lot of first and foremost, elder financial fraud. It's on the rise. It occurs more frequently every year. Maybe limited or isolated to try to take some money from your account, like a lump sum, or a series of ongoing events. Why do they want to be ongoing? Because the more rapport, the more comfortable you are with them, more likely to trust them. So therefore, they're able to access more of your accounts, unfortunately, or your resources. So today we're going to talk about a bunch of different types of fraud. So, as you can imagine, most fraud happens to people over the age of 60. Why is that? Because they're collecting Social Security, they're close to retired, and people over the age of 60 typically have more money. So that is why, and of course, they're maybe not so accustomed to technology. So that's why the fraudsters look for those age groups. If you look here, this is from 2022, investment scams, $404 million. Business imposters, romance scams, government imposters, tech support. I'm sure we've all seen tech support scams. We'll go through all of these, kind of what to look for, kind of how to prevent yourself from getting taken advantage of. So the first one we are going to discuss, before we get there, here are a couple of recent scams that have hit the news. Medicare phone scam. So you'll get calls impersonating someone from Medicare, saying that the pharmacy and the doctors are being told your Medicare benefits are terminated. What they're going to want, some information from you, Social Security number. Oh, we could probably get this corrected, maybe even do a direct deposit in your account. Why don't you tell me what your checking account number is, right? These are some of the ways they can get more information from you. I don't know if you see this one here, but it says toll roads notice. I have gotten at least 50 of them, and they do a good job because I was just recently in Chicago. We went on a flight, and of course, we had tolls. So they go on the website, find out who does have unpaid tolls. They'll send these text messages out, making them look very, very good, right? Hoping that you click on their link and not actually go to the Illinois tollway link.
I think I got one last week.
Yeah.
Got one too.
Yeah.
I just found it.
For the most part, and we'll get into this. If you get a text message, email from somebody you don't know, don't trust it. For example, like you get this text message, like in my case, I was in Illinois. I actually had some tolls out there that I didn't pay. Don't ever click on a link in an email or a text message. If it's from the Illinois tollway, do a web search, go on the website. Don't trust any link that you get that way.
And these are only if there's unpaid tolls. But if you go through with a iPass or something.
If you have like an iPass account, typically they're gonna, that comes out instantly if you have
Right,
funds.
and they won't scam you if you know you paid everything.
Well, these scams, they don't know if you got an iPass. They're just trying. What they do is they get you to click on that link.
Oh.
From there, they get control of your computer. So now they have all your passwords and everything like that. They can just go right into your online banking, start moving funds around. Like that's what they're looking for in those like links. They're phishing scams. They're trying to get into your computer, get your password.
So you're not saying don't actually click on and open the email. It's don't click on any
Don't click
links
on the
in
links.
the email. Okay.
Correct. So in the previous couple of screens, we saw investment scams is the number one cost of elder fraud. These schemes cost victims more than $1.2 billion. Typically, it's the use of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, those sorts of things. Cryptocurrency investment fraud losses rose to $2.57 billion in 2022, an increase of 183%. So if you're getting a call, these are typically over the phone. They're going to be very, very high pressure. You need to act now, otherwise you're going to lose out. They tell you you're going to get high returns with no risk, right? So kind of keep that golden rule, right? If it's too good to be true, it typically is. If you ever get those phone calls, don't ever feel like you have to do something right now or you're going to lose out. You can always, if they are legitimate, typically that next day you're still going to get a good deal. Always don't rush into anything. Just kind of slow it down. What they want to do is they want to rush you. Think you're going to get this great deal. So when you're rushed, right, you want to act right away. If you don't slow down and think about what could be. Again, this is very, very high pressure sales. And then if you're not able to withdraw any of your principal, that should throw up a red flag when it comes to this. And if you guys have any questions at any time, don't be afraid to raise your hand. Yes.
Do elderly people do much with cryptocurrency?
I've seen it. My uncle, he's been retired now 10 years. He's got some crypto. It's like an investment, just like anything else. If you want to invest in gold, you want to invest in silver, you want to invest in crypto.
Crypto's nothing.
It is a form of currency. Is it a physical form of currency? No, it's digital. But when you buy something online, are they getting physical cash? No, it's just an ACH transaction. It goes through a clearinghouse. So even when we're making digital, like online purchases, think of that as digital money. Because no physical money is really being taken place. What they're doing is they're taking from your account and putting that in their account. There's no really physical.
Taking your money.
Mm-hmm. Right. Correct.
So
cryptocurrency though is also money. So like you can buy things with Bitcoin and stuff like that. So you can make purchases with Bitcoin.
that just sounds all woo, you know. I don't know.
It just sounds
I
like a
don't
scam to
understand
begin
that
with.
at all.
I
So that is an actual thing.
It is an actual thing.
that people-
I will encourage you, right? If you're not comfortable with something, just like investments, right? If you don't take the time to research, do your due diligence, don't get into it, right? It's just not a good idea. Romance scams. This one really breaks my heart. No pun intended. This is the stuff I see a lot. You've been married for 30 years, you just lost your significant other, you may not have close friends or family. All of a sudden you get this pop-up, right, on Facebook. Hey, let's talk, let's meet. So they begin online, like I said, or over the phone. They're always making excuses not to ever meet, right? Everything's done digitally, text messaging, chat rooms. They're really quick to say how much they love that person, right? They fall in love instantly. And that love quickly transitions to, hey, I have an emergency. Can I borrow some money? Or can I have some money? They need the money right away. So they ask you for your bank information, right? To make a transfer. Or they say, hey, can you get me a gift card? Can you transfer it from your online banking into my account? Right? Because once it leaves your account, it's very, very hard to get. So when it comes to romance scammers, if you've never met them, and that goes for pretty much everybody, if you've never met the person, give them, right? If you meet someone online and they ask for money, that should throw up a red flag. Don't refuse to cash any of their checks. What they'll like to do is say, hey, send me $500, I'll send you a check, right? Once you get the check's not good. Now you're out $500 and now you have that bad check as well. Don't send any, I know this can be difficult, but don't send any intimate videos or pictures. A lot of times they get those pictures and now they're blackmailing you, right? Now that's no longer a romance scam, that is blackmail. So just anytime you meet someone online and they refuse to meet in person, or let's say we're here in Chilton, right? And they're in Florida or they're in California, and right, all of a sudden they fall in love with you online. That's a red flag. Just kind of keep that in mind.
Do all of these hold true for like teen girls or kids that are
And so like
online?
we're talking
It's the
more like
same thing.
elder
Yeah.
fraud here. These apply to everybody. I see, and that's why I like talking. Not that I like talking. That romance scam. I've seen it. Young people, old people, middle-aged people. Like it's all ages. I think what we see, right, with technology, phone, everybody is here. There's not a lot of physical interaction. So when people are lonely, they go to something they feel comfortable with. It's so much easier to scam people because I could pretend to be anybody online too. Government imposter scam. This is going to be a good one. This is tax season. A lot of Social Security stuff is going on. So you may get phone calls pretending to be from the IRS, Social Security, and they're going to ask you personal information for Medicare, Social Security benefits, all these things. The scammer could be using a technique called spoofing, which is you get a phone call and it says right on your caller ID, IRS department or BMO bank or whatever bank it is. What they're doing is they're spoofing the number. So it's not really coming from that number. It just says so on the caller ID. Just gives an extra layer of believability to make you fall for the scam. So the caller is going to ask you for information, make a payment, and it might be in form of a gift card. If anybody asks you to pay them with a gift card, red flag, right? Because once you give them the gift card number, gone. The money's gone immediately and you can never get it back. So if anybody wants you to pay anything with a gift card, don't do it. IRS, Social Security, they will never initiate a contact through phone. So if you get a call saying that they're from the IRS or Social Security Administration, it's a scam. They will only, if there's an issue, they will, as you can see, contact you by mail. If you have a Social Security or IRS, don't be afraid to set your accounts up online. I don't know if you heard the latest result or latest news. Was it 40%? 40% of all calls into Social Security are people trying to scam the Social Security department. They're trying to get direct deposits switched on. So don't be afraid to go online, set up your account. If you don't feel comfortable with that technology, you can always have someone. I help my mom all the time. And then you can check it. You can check to see, all right, is my direct deposit still going into the right account? Those are ways to prevent some of this fraud. But the biggest thing with this, if they're giving you a call on the phone unless you reached out prior to that. Frozen. Any
Is
questions?
there
on that?
any regulation on this? I mean, are a lot of these caught before they get to a person? Or,
What do you mean
well, does the government or does the Medicare administration or even the phone services? Is there any way that they can tell that these
These-
emails or calls or things are
these
coming
are,
through?
these scammers are running, I believe it's a computer program. So the government doesn't even know. What they're doing is just, putting in false information through your caller ID. So would I love to see them really crack down on these? A lot of these are coming from overseas. So even though it says, United States number, these call centers, I don't know if you've ever seen The Beekeeper. It's a action movie, but yeah, they show these huge call centers in India. And all they do all day long is try and get these scams.
So then it's all up to us to protect ourselves.
Right.
Because nobody else is going to.
Right. And this isn't so much that they want you to change a direct deposit from Social Security. Here, these calls are more like, hey, if you want your Medicare benefits or if you want this, you need to send me some money. So they're trying to just get your money that way.
Okay.
So tech support scams. I'm sure you guys were talking about this earlier. We've all seen these. You're on Facebook, right? You're looking at pictures and all of a sudden that blue screen pops up. You need to do this, right? Call Microsoft at 1-800, right? All they are trying to do is get you to call them so they can get into your computer. I've seen this scam probably the most. Once they get in your computer, they can get into your online banking, whatever passcodes you have, they can pretty much get into. So when stuff like this happens, if you were to call, don't ever give out your social security number, don't give credit card, bank account numbers, any of that stuff. If you receive an email, right, that there has been suspicious activity on your account, again, this comes back to what I said before. Don't click on the link. That's a phishing scam. They're just trying to get access into your computer. What I would always do when you get those pop-ups, power the computer down. My mom got a couple of them on Facebook, right? The big screen comes up and she called me. She's like, what do I do? Should I call a number? I'm like, nope. Power your computer down, reboot it, and typically it goes right back to normal. But if something were to happen and you do call, again, don't ever give out your personal information, especially checking account numbers, Social Security. Don't give those out over the phone. Any questions on this? This happens quite a bit. One of the things I will always recommend, especially when it comes to like technology, have someone in your back pocket. My mom, she calls me all the time. Like my internet's down. I can't get on my Hulu. I got this pop up, and I rather have her do that than, because I've seen how difficult it is when these scams happen. They get into your online banking, all of a sudden all this money starts transferring around. It can get, like, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, that I've seen personally. So don't be afraid to have someone that you can kind of lean on and say, hey, this is happening. Is this legitimate? And then we all have computers right here as well on your cell phone. So if our regular computer is down and it says, Mike, give this call to Microsoft, don't be afraid to go Microsoft technical support and see if it's the same number. Okay. All right, prize sweepstakes and lottery. This will also kind of piggyback off of the technology scam. How many people have seen these things on Facebook like, oh, for $5 you can get a brand new mixer, right? if it's too good to be true, it is. Like you're not gonna get a brand new, $400 mixer for $5 to do a survey or give them information. So, if you get it online, just click out of it. Don't put your information in there. If you're getting a call saying, hey, you won this, and you're like, well, I didn't enter anything, it's a scam. You're not just gonna win something magically, right? And again, the big thing is, if you don't give out your information or give these scammers access to your computer to get in your online banking, they can't take your money. Don't give out that information. Don't give out social security numbers, especially over the phone, especially to people you've never dealt with before. Utility fraud. Oh, this is a big one too, right? You get a phone call saying, oh, hey, just so you know, you overpaid on your utility bill. I need your checking account so we can reimburse you that money. One, if you paid them automatically, they already have your account number. They don't need it again, right? They can reverse that charge. Two, if you overpaid, typically you're gonna get an email saying, hey, you overpaid on this bill. Do you want to address it to the next bill? Typically, that's what happens. It goes to your next bill. They don't call you and say, hey, give me your checking account number so we can reimburse you. Again, hang up the phone. It's okay. Like if this is if they are really trying to call you and you call them back, they'll say, yeah, we just tried calling you, because they have notes in the account. Chances are you call the other number, they'll be like, yeah, no, your account's great, you paid on time, it was whatever it is. So just be careful. Again, if you get a phone call, just because it does say We Energies on it, doesn't mean it's We Energies. Always, it's unfortunate, but always have that that attitude, like, yeah, someone's trying to take advantage of you. All right, online shopping scam. So kind of touched a little bit on that on the previous screen, but these are rampant, right? Like they get the FBI gets 13,000 complaints of fraudulent products and non-delivery. So, right, case in point, my mom ordered something on Facebook. It was supposed to be this elaborate Santa Claus, right? Looks beautiful. Like it's like 6 feet tall for $30. I'm like, Mom, wait, don't you think that was a little cheap? Yeah, that's why I thought it was a great deal, right? Never got it. All of a sudden, you get one charge for $30, and now you get 4 other charges for $50, $60, $70, right? Well, they got your debit card now, so they'll try to keep doing this until the debit card gets filled. Yeah. So just be very, very careful. Do you guys all do online banking? Or I should say online purchases?
Yes.
Occasionally. Some, yeah.
So my recommendation, and I tell this pretty much everybody who comes in here with debit card fraud, if you're gonna buy things online, do it with a credit card.
Yeah.
Your debit card is attached to your checking account. So if they do fraudulent activity on your debit card, where is that coming out of? Right out of your checking account. Yeah. Credit card, think of it as a line of credit. You put it on your credit card. Now, if that's a fraudulent claim, you call your credit card company and say, hey, that's not mine, but your checking account is still the same amount. It's just another layer of security. In fact, what I actually recommend to all people is use your debit card as a backup. Buy everything with your credit card. With online banking, you can go on there and go, oh, I just made like 8 purchases on my credit card. By the time I get home tonight, all 8 purchases will be on my online banking. I can pay it off that same day, so it acts like a debit card, but it's not actually coming out of my checking until I make it. You can never be too safe, especially when it comes to checking accounts.
What can you do if I ordered something. For Christmas,
Okay.
and it was supposed to be like $29.99.
Mm-hmm.
They added all kinds of special, special packing, insurance, till it came to $57 and some cents. And I went to the credit card
Okay.
company and said, how can they do this? This isn't right. In the first place, there was no extra packing.
Mhm.
It was so flimsily packaged, anything could have broken it.
Sure.
They resolved the issue, and as far as I could tell, they said, no, those charges are okay. How can they do that?
So, one of the things when we do a fraud dispute, right, there is an investigation process.
Right.
Make sure they'll ask a series of questions. One being, did you make this purchase? Yes,
Yeah.
I did. What was the price you were told and what was the price you were charged? So if there's a discrepancy in those situations, typically not typically, but when I file the dispute,
Yeah.
I will say, yep, she authorized $34.95, and we want to dispute the $11 or whatever the difference is. So I don't know which credit card company it was or who it was with, but typically that's how a dispute works.
Can I go back and
Typically you have 60 days.
oh,
So, but when, again, I'm talking about myself here, right?
Yeah.
Those are questions they should have asked, like, well, you know, how much did they tell you it was and how much did you spend?
And I took a screenshot of the original charge.
Mhm.
And I told them that, but they never wanted to see it. I think somebody dropped the ball. I really do.
Well, if you ask for my advice, yeah, like if you were told it was gonna be $29.95 and you were charged $50, yeah, you should have been charged $29.95, but the rest should not have been.
Yeah.
That's my feeling on it, but I don't know what kind of investigation or anything, you know, I'm speaking on kind of behalf of what we do here at BMO.
Yeah.
Social media. Everybody's on social media, right? You want to see your grandkids, you want to see your kids, you want to see this, that.
So
It's not going away, right? But we share a lot of information about ourselves on social media. So a lot of people, they scroll, right? Try to find, that's why when these romance scammers, like, they know a lot about you because they can see a lot of this stuff online. Scammers will reach out, but try you to buy abandoned dogs. Say, hey, we need a way for this beloved soldier to get home. Please click on this link, donate to us. All these sorts of things. All they're just trying to do again is get that debit card, get you to click that link so they can get your money. I will encourage everyone to donate, right? If you have income that you can afford to donate to a good cause, please do so. But make sure you're doing your research. Pick a cause that you like. In Plymouth, we have the Plymouth Gift Elect. My family started that. That's really the only cause I donate to because I know all about it. So if you're going to donate to a cause, just make sure it's legitimate. You can actually reach out online, or you can reach out to a phone call and get information. There's a lot of people trying to take advantage of everybody's big heart online, and they'll tell you all these sob stories. Again, if you don't know them, chances are it's not true, right? So just put up that wall. Just be protective of yourself. And then family friend imposter. So this, I actually just had a seminar on this yesterday. Artificial intelligence is scary.
Yes.
So you can get a phone call and say, hey grandma, do you know who this is? And they can use artificial intelligence to steal grandson's voice, son's voice, make it sound very, very similar. Chances are, if they're gonna call you and ask, do you know who this is? Yeah, I should know who my grandson is, right? Like that should be a red flag. Don't be afraid if you think it's something suspicious. Throw in something like, if their birthday's in December, hey, you just had a birthday in March. How was your birthday? Did you have a good time? Right? If they go, well, no, grandma, my birthday's in December. Well, that should make you feel a little bit better. Like, hey, this is who I'm actually talking to. AI is going, from what we were kind of told, that's where a lot of this fraud is going to start to be headed. Like you could do what's called a deep fake, where I can go on a video, computer program can change my voice, can change my face. It could be Tom Cruise giving this presentation. Nobody would know. That's how good this stuff is. So in those situations, if you get a call from a loved one saying, hey, like I'm in a bad accident, I need to pay doctor bills, grandma, can you give me $10,000? Don't be afraid to hang up. Call their cell phone. Right? Chances are they're gonna be like, why are you calling me, grandma? Well, I just got a call saying this and this for that reason. If it's throwing up a lot of red flags, they're gonna want Western Union or a MoneyGram, or hey, like I've been kind of kidnapped, and they will make it sound super serious. Don't be afraid to take a step back, hang up that phone, call, or even just say, you know what, I'm gonna hang up right now. I'm gonna call you on your cell phone.
Is Western Union still in business?
I believe you can do Western Union at Walmart's.
At where?
At Walmart, if I recall correctly.
I hadn't heard of it for so long, and I thought they probably were gone.
No, they're still around. Any questions on this? Medical equipment. This is another big one. They're gonna call you with this is Medicare. Because you qualify for this, we're gonna give you this free medical equipment. Just give me your Medicare. Right? And then they're gonna send you something, and it's gonna be super, super cheap. But they're gonna charge you Medicare for, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It was like a $10, dish that you could get at Walgreens. Again, always work with Medicare providers. They give you a list of approved providers. When in doubt, if it's too good to be true, right? It all comes back to that. Don't be afraid to go online, do a search. You can go here, SNP. It's a portal. It's going to be in your, it should be in your pamphlets. They'll kind of let you know what the new scams are out and what to look for.
How much information, say, Linden Care calls me for CPAP supplies. How much information do they really need? Do they need my date of birth? Do they need my?
So like if I can only speak for how we handle calls like that.
Yeah.
If you call us, we set up a verbal passcode. I don't know if these companies do that, but like we're not going to ask you your birthday. We're not going to ask you your social security number.
Yeah.
We know that already. We have everything in here. We are going to confirm who you are. whether it's through a verbal passcode or, hey, can you let me know what your last 3 transactions were on, or your last direct deposit, where did that come from, how much it was? As far as these other companies, maybe that's part of their everyday,
Well, it seems
verification.
like it, but it seems like, why on earth do you need to do that?
If they're asking for a social security number, if they're asking for, let's say you order things, you have medication delivered monthly and they're confirming it with you. They have your credit card or debit card, whatever the case may be. They'll have that on file. Just be very careful. Again, don't be afraid to go, let me do some research and I'll call you right back. And then just call their other number just to confirm who they are. Because again, even though it says on your caller ID, this is who they are, not necessarily true. Don't be afraid to like I said, hang up that phone call and call the number that you know is correct. And if they ask you the same questions, well then it's, at least it's them for it.
Yeah.
So when scammers are trying to get you to send money, they will often use fear and intimidation tactics to take advantage of you. Like they'll tell you, don't tell anybody you're on the phone with me. Only say what I tell you when you're at the bank. I actually had a gentleman come in. His cell phone was on in his pocket. He's like, "Yep, I need to take $15,000 out of my account." And we slowed it down because it was very abnormal, and I could tell he was like, he was nervous and shooken up. So I said, "Is someone on the phone with you?" I'm like, "Give me your phone." So like, I saved this gentleman 15 grand. But they'll tell you stuff like, there's someone at your local bank trying to fraud you. They're trying to take your money. Go in there, take all your money out, and don't tell them why. Don't tell them I'm on the phone, because they're just going to tell you something to keep you there so they can keep taking your money. That they're very believable. They've been trained how to do this. Again, don't be afraid to have a friend, phone a friend. I always tell my customers, if you think something's fishy or suspicious, here's my business card, just give me a call. Like, especially if you think it's coming from the bank, I'll tell you, like, we put notes in everything. If we're trying to reach out to you, I'll tell you that, yep, nope, they're trying to reach out to you. But I've seen all these scams. This gentleman bought $500 gift cards. And he was gonna take this 15 grand and go buy Bitcoin. They have Bitcoin vending machines. And he was gonna take that money and buy Bitcoin and send them the Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin's untraceable. Once you send it, it's gone. Same with a gift card. So just like, again, if it's too good to be true, it is. If they're telling you, don't tell them why you're at the bank. Trust me, the stuff we have to go through to protect your money, it's gonna be very, very, very rare someone from the bank is trying to scam you. Okay. But again, have a friend, phone a friend. The best way to prevent a lot of these fraud issues, word of mouth. I guarantee you, if it happened to you, it happened to about 100 other different people. And as long as you tell your close friends, word travels fast. You can kind of nip these scams right in the butt, stop them before they really start getting to everybody else. Again, never send money to people you don't know. Scammers are going to be like, hey, send me a wire, reloadable gift cards, money orders, or like PayPal or Zelle. Just once you send it in these ways, very, very difficult to come back, which is why they want you to send the money this way. So, again, we talked a lot about this. Hang up the phone if you think it's a scam. Get that pop-up, turn off your computer. When in doubt, check it out, right? We all have computers in our pockets. Take your cell phone out, don't be afraid to do some investigation. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody, whether it's me at BMO, friend, family, or even the police. The police will let you know. Yeah, we've seen these scams before. Don't give them your information. If you happen to get a scam, file a report with the police. If you do get this kind of fraud, especially if they get access to your account, open new accounts right away. Again, I've seen thousands and thousands of dollars just go out because they acted too. Call your bank right away. We can put freezes on account. We can stop your debit card. We can put it stop to all of that stuff before it gets too bad. If you think your phone or your computer is compromised, there's a lot of computer stores around here. Best Buy will clean your computer. I think it's like $60, $70. So get a virus scanner, right? Don't be afraid to get it cleaned, because $60 is a lot better than $6,000. Make sure you're changing your passwords regularly.
Those are such a pain in the butt. I am so sick of passwords. You want a different one for everything, and there's how many?
And the reason behind why they want a different one for everything, let's say one of your passwords gets hacked. Okay.
Right.
So now they're like, oh, I'm going to try this password here, and here. Oh, and if this one doesn't work, maybe I'll just add a 1 or a 2, because most people were creatures of habit, right? We'll use the same password and be like, oh, I'll just put a 1 at the end.
Right. I don't want to change it.
Yeah, just they're a pain. Make sure my mom has a notepad where she writes all her passwords in. It is kind of a pain, but that's why it's done that way. It's all more for your protection than inconvenience. Again, victim of fraud, contact Social Security, IRS, freeze your credit report. There's 3 of them, TransUnion. That's the one we use. You can for free, you can put a freeze on your credit. That way no one can open up accounts, no one can get loans. Yeah.
I had a case where somebody tried to open an account at, I think maybe it was Kohl's or someplace, using my information. And so I put a freeze on all 3.
Yep. That way, like, hey, if I'm gonna get a credit card or I'm gonna go get a loan, you can call the credit union and say, this is what I'm about to do. Please take the freeze off my account for 2 days. Do it all the time. In fact, I don't know how many times we've done credit card applications, and we're like, their credit has a freeze, please call the customer. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to take that off. So I would definitely recommend it. It's a good way to help protect yourself. Any kind of debt company, whether it's a loan where you have a reoccurring payment, if you get fraud on your account, just let them know. They'll work with you. Like, they're not going to put you in collections, right? They'll understand. And then set up security alerts. Most online banking apps or logins or digital platforms have these set up. You can get, like, I get an alert if someone uses my credit card every time. So I know, like, you can, so it's easier to prevent fraud when you know about it right away. I know there's a lot of people that, like, I don't like digital, it's too hard. But what happens, right, when there's fraud on your account? Bank doesn't catch it, and now 30 days goes by, and then hopefully you see it on your statement. Right? I'd rather see it in real time when it happens. So that's Did. There's a lot of pushback saying, well, what if they hack into my account? The only way people are gonna hack into your account is if you give them access to it. You give them the password or you give them permission to go on your computer. Right? So what I would encourage is, again, these handy little things. Facial recognition, thumbprint, right? These are all, like if you do your banking online, no one can get into your cell phone unless they steal your face. So those are also added security features.
I have a thumbprint on mine.
Mhm.
However, lately it won't recognize me. And it keeps putting it, it's like 3 times and you're out. And so now it's in a stolen something. Mode.
Theft prevention mode.
Yeah, theft prevention. I can't get it. How do I get it so that I can redo my thumbprint?
Who is your cell phone?
Spectrum.
Spectrum. Is it like an Apple or a Samsung?
It's an Apple.
An Apple. Apple has some of the best customer service around. So if you call the Apple customer service desk,
Yeah.
typically they can walk you through it. In extreme circumstances, you may have to go to an Apple store and they will be able to walk you through it too.
Are there Apple stores around?
There's one in Milwaukee is the one. There might be one in Green Bay or Fond du Lac. Typically, Apple can go into your account and go, oh, this is what's going on.
Right.
And they can kind of reset it. Or at least walk you through how to reset it.
Okay, so I have to call Apple.
Yeah, I would reach out to the manufacturer on it.
Because it's a real pain to not be able to get into stuff.
Yep. So they should be able to say, it's probably somewhere in your settings where you can just redo everything. Redo the
I tried that and it didn't work.
Then I would reach out to tell
Apple.
Apple customer care. Like I said, they got some of the best customer service in the business. There's a reason why people like Apple.
Even if they charge me, it would be worth it.
So that's it. We went through a lot of stuff. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to bounce off of me? You all have my business card. Even if you're not customers with the bank, don't be afraid to give me a call.
So you're the manager of Chilton?
I'm the branch manager of the BMO Chilton, yes.
I was just gonna say, I love BMO. And just because I've been here so long,
Sure.
all I have to do is call them up and say, this is, Terry Weber, and I said, oh, hi, Terry,
The girls have been there forever. They know
I know.
everybody. So like I'm trying to put, names with faces and they're like, oh, that's so and that's so. It makes the customer experience a lot easier.
It does, yeah.
When you've been there for so long. But again, there's gonna be a time where the banking institutions, no matter how well you know someone, there are gonna be preventative measures, whether it's adding a driver's license number in, or hey, I know you are who you say you are. I'm gonna send you a little text message with a 7-digit code. Tell me what that code is.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things that are coming that are gonna be mandatory, that I'm sure customers are just gonna be like, this is annoying. I've been doing this for, I've been with you for 30 years, but it's really more for your safety, to protect you, your accounts, and protect the bank.
Well, nice to meet you.
Well, very nice to meet you all as well. Again, you guys have my card. If you guys ever have any questions, please don't hesitate.
Could I just ask, this is off the subject, is there